Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. As always, Big Blue Madness was a giant recruiting pitch for John Calipari. So joining me now is KSR's Jack Pilgrim, their recruiting guru for Kentucky Sports Radio. He's got a podcast called Sources Say. He is all over it, man. So I do need to ask you the biggest name that's not committed already was Cade Cunningham.
Absolutely, 100%.
And he was very impressed, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. You could kind of tell. Devin Askew visited last week, who was a top point guard in the class of 2021. Soon as he left campus, the staff went all in on this next week, wanted to make sure that Cade was blown away on this visit. Cade is not the kind of person to be blown away by pyrotechnics and smoke and lights, and he's definitely the kind of guy that wants to see a blueprint, see
where he fits.
Where he fits, and Kentucky did a phenomenal job with it.
They actually had a film session with him.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was. I can't give away where it happened or how it all unfolded, but
sources say. Shameless plug.
Yes, it happened. They kind of dove into how he'd fit in with Terrence Clark, how he'd fit in with B.J. Boston, how he'd fit in with Devin Askew. He just wanted to see where this would all fit in, and so far so good. Things are looking really well.
And,
really good.
You brought up Devin Askew, who was here a week ago. 2021, but he's likely to reclassify to 2020.
Yeah.
So this is going to be maybe another really guard-heavy team coming up next year.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny that nobody really knows what's going on with the big men. Everybody, it's all guards. You know, they have B.J. Boston locked up. They have Terrence Clark locked up. Things are looking really good with both Cade Cunningham and Devin Askew. So people are starting to think that it's just going to be kind of one of those small ball offenses, you know, kind of what he was doing back in his Memphis days. It's going to be a whole lot of guard work and fast pace. Whoever gets the ball goes. It'll be very interesting to see how it all unfolds.
Do you see those guys all being able to play together?
Yeah, absolutely. And what's really beneficial on Kentucky's part is Cade Cunningham is a guy that everybody wants to play with. He's kind of a guy that's very popular in the AAU scenes. He's very popular at his high school. Terrence Clark has been talking to him behind the scenes, trying to get him in. So they are building the chemistry off the floor. You know, a guy like Greg Brown, who's actually on Cade's AAU program, the Texas Titans, he's recruiting him they're potentially talking about playing together as well. So the chemistry is already built in off the floor as it is. So once they get on campus, and if this all unfolds how we're kind of dreaming this scenario to turn out, the chemistry's already there.
The Cal has definitely been hitting it hard, right?
Oh.
And he is
like
hard,
a madman.
like a madman, hard after it. But Terrence Clark is helping him out, not only behind the scenes, but he's been very vocal on social media as well with a hashtag He Is Not Committed, trying to get some guys to commit. And that includes Paolo Banchero.
Yep. Yeah, Paolo is a guy. He's technically in the class of 2021. We actually had him on that podcast a few weeks ago. He'll tell everybody that'll listen to him that he's staying in 2021. But people still behind the scenes think, okay, this guy, he's already better than most of the guys in this upcoming senior class. Physically, he's there, 6'10", 225, 230 pounds, extremely skilled. He's just one of those guys that he really has no business being in high school another 2 years. So even if he's saying that he's probably going to stick around for 2 more years, it would kind of shock me at this point if he didn't reclassify to 2020.
So we had B.J. Boston on this show last week, who said he's convinced there is a big man coming this year. Could it be Paolo?
Yes, it could very well be Paolo. In fact, after that happened, people kind of lit me up saying, who is it? Who is this guy? And one of the first names that popped up was actually Scotty Barnes, who's he's another, he'd kind of be utilized as a stretch 4 type player at Kentucky. He actually committed today to Florida State after announcing that he was going to actually take an official visit to Kentucky this weekend. So it crossed one guy off the list, and Paolo's kind of seeming like the one guy that's left available. And
did he have a good time here by all accounts?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Terrence was kind of including him as he would be a part of the 2020 class. You know, he's like another one of those guys that just wanted to see how he would fit in. Cal's kind of selling this. Let's build this super team in Lexington, and apparently, so things went pretty well.
I'm on board with a super team too.
Oh, I love it.
Check out Jack Pilgrim's work on KSR and his podcast Sources Say. More Hey Kentucky right after this.